Hey guys, it's Zeph. Sorry about the lighting. This is not what I prefer. I'm using artificial lighting, and it's really, really craptastic artificial lighting. But due to the time of night that I'm filming and where I have to film right now, this is kind of what I'm working with, so excuse that. So I feel like I start off every video with a little, oh, excuse this, or I'm sorry about that, you know, whatever. So today's topic is discrimination within the pagan community. I can honestly say that I don't have a huge pagan community. Within my own community, within where I live, there is not a lot of it. But a lot of the pagan community that I'm around, I find is rather judgmental, and I wish I wouldn't have to say that, because you would hope that pagans, you know, wouldn't be judgmental, you know, just because we do get judged quite a bit. But I actually find that I don't get judged, or for certain things, I don't get judged, because I don't look, and I hate saying this, I don't look like your typical pagan. I hate to say this, there's no other way to phrase it. I pass for a normal person. Not that pagans aren't normal. I feel like I'm, you know, just, you know, open mouth, insert foot. But I'm not this super goth or this super hippie. I don't fit into things where you would imagine pagans look like. I don't act like your normal pagan. I'm not walking around talking about my stones and look at the moon and let me do your this. Like that, that's not me. You wouldn't really know unless I trust you enough to bring it up, or it comes up in conversation, you know, things related to that. It's not something that is known about me, really. I mean, for the love of God, my favorite music is country. I'm obsessed with makeup. Pinup culture is my thing. I'm obsessed with Disney. I mean, I'm just all a bunch of things that you wouldn't expect to be pagan. So when I walk into my local witchcraft shop and get all my stuff there, it gets funny when everyone there is covered in, you know, tattoos, and they're in all these band shirts and their piercings. I mean, they look very dark. They look like dark people. And then I walk in, I mean, I have my hair, I mean, horrible lighting, but my hair is colored out blonde, and I'm always in some shade of bright or super well done and blended makeup, and I dressed very feminine, and that it puts off a lot of people. And my discrimination comes in with the idea that people don't think that I know what I'm talking about, because they judge me based off of how I look. I don't have a lot of, or at least that I know there exist, I know that they're there, but I haven't met them. There's a lot of older people who are pagan, but there's not a ton of people who are in my age group. I am 22. You get a lot of people who are who are like high school age, like 19, 20, and they are still stuck in that high school mentality. So they're like, oh, you don't like this, so you aren't into that, and you're not all super public about it, and so you don't know what you're talking about. And then I start talking and explaining to them theory and how to apply things in my interpretation of stuff, and just spitting out things that I know, and they look at me and they're just like, oh, she knows what's going on, she knows what's up. And at that point, it's, I mean, depending on your level of, you know, being judgmental towards me, I don't want anything to do with you. I've learned quite a while ago that with any situation, that if people are going to judge you, extremely judge you, and put you down based off of first glance and actually have the chance to get to know you or talk to you, you don't need those people in your life. So I don't have those people in my life. My other thing is that I am really, really, really into hoodoo. I like go back and forth between whether I'm more like Wicca or hoodoo, like on whatever certain day. I'm very into hoodoo, voodoo, things like that. And a lot of people imagine those who practice, you know, hoodoo, voodoo, things of that sort, to be black. And as we can all tell, I am about white as it gets. So I face things like that when I say I'm into that, and they go, oh, like, homegirl wants to be black, or she wants to say, no, there's not, actually. There's a woman I work with, she is African American, and she does practice all this sort of stuff, and the way her and I look at it, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it affects our day-to-day lives, and how the world treats us and how we do interact with the world, But for the most part, I mean, she's a dark lady. She is no darker than me, and I'm no lighter than her. It's, at the end of the day, when it comes to what we deal with, that's, or at least, you know, in the non-mundane world, it's really how it is. We don't deal with that. We are just as we are, we're people. So once we get past those things, I feel like I don't deal with discrimination, or it's just that I never deal with people who are, oh, well, you're not part of this tradition, or, oh, you're not into Celtic stuff, or, oh, you don't know about this, or you don't know about that, or because you aren't part of a coven. I almost said cult. You aren't part of a coven, so you're not a real witch, or you're not. I don't have time for that. I don't deal with it because I'm solitary and I don't deal with other people for that reason, because people suck, or because I just, you know, there's not a huge community. If it's not a huge community, they're either not out or I'm not out enough. But that's okay. I'm actually really content with where I am. So I'm very thankful that I haven't caught up into things. So I have you guys now, I guess. Thank you so much for tuning in. Can't wait to see y'all again. Toodles.